I am admittedly a huge fan of WAP and of the accompanying TikTok dance. I also love Lil Nas X and I love Montero. And I know a lot of people clutch their pearls over those songs, but it got me thinking about songs that we used to listen to when we were younger. And I remember so many times listening to songs on the radio and my mom would quickly change the radio station. Like, you can't listen to that. And I'm like, why not? Like, I really didn't understand what made these songs so inappropriate. And now, as you get older, you look back on the lyrics and you're like, oh, that song was dirty. So I want to know, what songs when we were all kids did you guys rock out to? Only later to find out was a little inappropriate.
I know Alex probably has some good ones. Nicole too. I can tell both of you guys got down to slow jams back in the day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I'm just going to say that's the total opposite, because I was your very wholesome, very good church boy that I didn't hear anything inappropriate. My parents were like, Jesus, that is all you're going to listen to. Actually, I got to the point when I was 8 years old, I got a keyboard and I started making Jesus music.
Oh,
I was writing lyrics for God.
That's adorable. I want you to think on this, and you don't have to know right now, but I want to know the first time you heard a secular song and you were like, what?
I don't know.
What is this?
This is what the world has to offer.
I guess it's not, it's kind of hard to think.
Right.
About, but at least the thing that comes to my head is kind of gestures. And so I was, sneaking, WWE, and I was watching wrestling and DX, and they were do the thing with their arms crossed and pump it over their pelvis, and I would do that all the time. Mind you, again, I'm all about Jesus, and I'm just this is for God. And later I found out that it meant something very inappropriate, and I was just maybe I should not. And awesome. I haven't done that until actually just a few minutes ago or seconds ago.
You're like the little kids in Nacho Libre, in the convent watching wrestling in the background.
Learning all the moves.
Oh, that's awesome.
So mine was, the Spice Girls had this song called Naked. And in all of their performances, they all sat on chairs that were facing backwards and they were naked, or they at least simulated nudity. I'm sure they had panties and stuff on. And me and my friends were obsessed with the Spice Girls. And so at a sleepover, we all got naked and decided we were all going to reenact this. The Spice Girls doing all their performances, and we got all the kitchen chairs and, we're all doing our moves and stuff. And one of the moms came downstairs, as they often do during sleepovers, and was like, what on earth is going on down here? Just all these nude children on all the kitchen chairs just singing Spice Girls.
I find that beautiful, though. Kids are just, just living their lives.
Right? We were just like, oh my God, let's all get naked.
What is it?
Right. Shaped me into the woman I am today. Which is
good. We love Shauna.
Oh, man.
Aw. What about you, Nicole?
I'm a country music listener, and back then they weren't really that dirty, I guess, but I have a couple. So the first one that I thought of actually was Candy Shop by 50 Cent.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not really about a candy shop.
Right? What the heck? They're not going and picking out suckers and stuff? And then the second one is a country song, and you could just tell by the title now that I'm 23 years old and understand these things. It's called Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that song.
I actually listened to that today in the car on the way home from work, and I was just like, that's super ironic that you brought up that question.
Yeah, it sounds kind of sexy if you ask me.
It's pretty sexy. I worked at a bar in college, and we all had to dance on the bar top in schoolgirl outfits. Shout out Library Bar and Grill. What? And that was one of our dances that we all did, was Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy.
Wait, there's a dance that goes with it?
Oh, I mean, we had a dance at the bar that went with it.
You just made one up.
Yeah, we made one up. And that was a pretty popular one with the crowd.
That's funny.
good one.
Shoot.
When I think about songs, so I'm similar. I grew up real, not sheltered by any means, but like just real clean cut. So if I listen to something, like I remember when The Bad Touch by Bloodhound Gang came out, right? Like,
oh my God, yep.
Let's We Ain't Nothing But Mammals, right? And I remember hearing that and knowing immediately, like, I don't know what they're talking about, but it's bad, and turning it off. Like, so
I am not supposed to be listening to this.
And I'm like, oh, this is science. This is good education. Mammals.
That was another one that my mom turned the radio off immediately.
Yeah. But the one that I like jammed out to regularly that not like I didn't realize was maybe not great until later was Genie in a Bottle by Christina Aguilera. Like the whole, you can rub me the right way. I mean, I remember being 12 and people being like, oh my gosh, you totally look like Christina Aguilera. I was like skinny, blonde, whatever. And they're like, you totally look like her. And I'm like, yeah, doing the dance. Rub me, baby. That's not appropriate at all, but I had no idea.
Coming in hot from the Valley of the Sun.
It's the Pop Culture Junkie Podcast.
Welcome to a new outstanding episode of Pop Culture Junkie Podcast. I am Shauna, and I am joined by
Alex,
Hayley,
and Nicole.
What have y'all been watching this week? What is up? What's going down?
Let's talk about that Invincible finale for a second, you guys.
Oh my God. So how many of us have watched Invincible? So is it just me and
not
Hayley?
Yet. Yes. Spill the tea. I want to watch it really bad.
Oh my God.
It's on my to-view list.
You know, okay, here's what I gotta say about Invincible. And I know I kind of mentioned this before, but like I am not big into animation. Like outside of The Simpsons, I will not watch stuff that is animated unless my kids are forcing me to do it. So when everyone was talking about Invincible, I was like, oh, come on, you guys. Like this is another animated thing that I'm going to be left out of. So I straight up watched it out of obligation. Like I just knew it was going to be in pop culture. And I was like, I gotta see it.
You know, honestly, now I'm interested, like, who did it? Who made you, like, finally decide to watch it? Was it, like, your husband or...
Society.
No, Twitter? I mean, like, because everyone was tight. And the thing is, like, you guys know I'm, like, one of the, like, Walking Dead diehards, like, the holdouts that are still watching it. And so Robert Kirkman not only made it, but then had, like, the entire Walking Dead cast be the voices in it. So I felt like...
I didn't realize more people than Stephen Yeun were from Walking Dead in there. And I love him.
Yeah. And I didn't even know until just recently.
Yeah. So all of the Guardians or whatever, that whole superhero team that, spoiler, gets wiped out in like the first episode, they're all voiced by Walking Dead actors. So
oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
they're like supposed to protect. They're like the Justice League of this Invincible world.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it is intense. I love Invincible. It is amazing. And it's just, I mean, we talked about the gore, but like, just, and even just like the dynamics within like the home itself, like of the main characters, like Mark, who's invincible, Nolan, who's Omni-Man, right? Omni-Man.
Omni-Man.
Right? Mm-hmm. And he's like the strongest character. He's like pretty much God.
I saw all these debates breaking out online, like who would win, Omni-Man versus Superman, and like, and as weird as that,
Omni-Man sounds like a pretty powerful name. Yeah, just like omnipresent.
They make him seem like he's stronger than Superman. At least, like, I don't know.
I mean, he's definitely the strongest being in this Invincible universe. At least him and his people. He comes from a planet of people just like him.
So instead of Krypton, it's like what?
Voltrumites.
Voltron?
Yeah, the Voltrumites.
Yeah, they are Voltrumite.
They're on a conquest to take over the universe and eradicate weak beings is basically the concept of the show.
Yeah.
And
so if there was a difference between Krypton and these, like the Kryptonians and the Voltrumite, is that the Kryptonians cease to exist and the Voltrumite plan to expand.
This all just reminds me of Dragon Ball. It's like they all come from the Saiyans come from planet Vegeta, and the planet's going to be blown up, and so they send baby Goku in like a little capsule to Earth.
Yeah, actually, I was.
Superman.
That's pretty much his concept.
Yeah, so he ends up being like the savior of Earth. He's supposed to like be sent to destroy it because Saiyans are like planet destroyers, but or conquerors, I guess. But he's the hero of Earth.
That's something I've been actually hearing. Is kind of like the comparison between Dragon Ball and Invincible, and how they're almost the same because of like that plot of just like being brought to this planet and taking it over. Because all the Viltrumite in the entire universe are like colonizing these planets.
Yeah.
And so that's what Omni-Man is doing. And he has a son here, and they, you know, he's like finding out that he has these powers, and like Omni-Man is like trying to figure out, I don't know, there's part of me feels like the time that he was there was kind of just like wasting time. I don't know. There was something that happened that kept him there. And I don't know, Hayley, if you like maybe have any thought on this, but he stayed there, raised a family, and then didn't actually get into the start of taking over this planet Earth until he found out his son had these powers. So was he waiting for his son to like get these powers to have somebody?
I think that's basically what he said. Is he's like he because his plan was to essentially recruit his son to be with him. But what I think is really interesting about that show in particular is that, unlike pretty much everything else I've ever watched, like I don't want a live action version. They're like people have been talking about, like
this won't work.
No, it's because it looks like it's ripped straight out of like comic book panels, and it's just awesome. The animation isn't grating. Like some animation is just like, I don't know, it's like grating on my eyeballs. This one is like very pleasing to watch, and the voice acting is great. J.K. Simmons as Omni-Man is just like spot on.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So
I'm gonna start it tonight. That's gonna be my show that I start with my husband.
Amazon
tonight.
Prime.
Okay, cool. We love anime, and obviously this isn't an anime, but like I love animated television shows. So that, and I get what you mean about like the grading, like on your eyes thing. Cause there's certain animes I'll even start and I'm like, God, the animation on this is just terrible. Like I can't take it seriously. I can't get through it. And then other times you're just like, this is beautiful. This is so good. So,
that's this. It's pretty.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
This is beautiful. Guts exploding.
But
this is such beautiful blood.
It is though. That's the weird thing is it's like you're cringing because it's like so grotesque, and then you're also just like in awe of how well done it is. So yeah. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, awesome. For sure. I'll into that.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are beautiful, I checked out Shadow and Bone. I checked out the premiere, the first episode on Netflix, and it is absolutely beautiful, very breathtaking visually. The effects, the graphics, like you can tell that they poured money into this production. And the people in it, the cast is very pretty, which is never hurts.
It's always a nice thing to look at.
Exactly. And it's got Ben Barnes in it, who you guys might know from Chronicles of Narnia, and he was on the Punisher series. He was the villain in the Punisher series.
Oh, yeah. He's so handsome.
Very much so. And so...
I mean, he's a great actor. Very talented.
I watch it for the plot. But I will say I've only seen the first one. I plan on watching at least a couple more, but the initial one is super confusing. So plan on going into it not knowing any, like, you're not going to know what's going on unless you've read the books. It's based on a book series. Okay. But unlike Invincible, where it really sets it up and, like, you're in the world immediately, Shadow and Bone, it's so... intent, like there's just so many layers to the universe, and so it's not one of those that you can like be scrolling through Instagram and then have on in the background because you will not know what's happening.
So it was like Shadow and Bone, like what is it? Because I see it on my Netflix, but I don't know. There's just something about is it what?
Yeah, brief synopsis. What's the
okay? So again, without totally knowing what's going on, there's a war, and there's like this shadowy border that exists between these kind of two sides. And it's this big black mist. And every time people travel through it, they get killed. So there's dragons, and it's very fantastical, and there's dragons and things like that, and they're swiping people up and killing them. And so people are afraid of the darkness. And we meet this a girl and a boy, they're best friends since childhood. They grow up together. They're in the war together. She's a cartographer, and he is like escorting people through this dark mist. And she thinks he's going to die because everybody does. So she finds a way to get on this expedition with him and to go through this darkness and kind of spoiling a little bit in the first episode, but the darkness is basically collapsing in on them. It's going to kill everybody on this expedition, her and her friend included. And then suddenly she turns into like a burst of light. She turns into like the sun and dispels all of the darkness.
She's the chosen one.
Yeah, and kind of saves everybody. So it exists in this world where everybody has these different magical powers, and it's setting up, as far as I can tell, Ben Barnes plays this character that he's kind of embodies the darkness. And then she embodies the light. And it's the conflict, essentially. Shadow and bone. Yeah.
Honestly, like, it sounds so deep, but I'm so lost.
So deep. And I only understood maybe 25% of what was going on. And like,
that was pretty good synopsis.
It was very detailed. Like, I can imagine it, but I'm still like, what's happening?
Dude, that reminds me of his Dark Materials. Like, I'm 2 seasons into his Dark Materials, and I still have no idea what the hell is going on. It's just like, I guess she's Eve. Okay, spoiler. Sorry, but like, I don't know.
Totally the same vibe, like the Golden Compass, that type of fantasy. Yeah, same vibe. So I'm sure for fans of the book, like it's a dream come true seeing it come to life on screen. Much in the same way that like seeing Harry Potter was, because I think Harry Potter is similar. Like, for someone who's so familiar with it, I'm like, how do you not understand all of the Hogwarts houses?
Right.
But for someone new, they're like, I don't know what's going on. So I think that's the same, but I definitely would say check it out and, watch maybe the first couple episodes and see if it's your thing. Cause it really is well done, just very confusing.
Yeah.
Nice.
It sounds interesting, but it does sound like I also have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Phones down.
Does anybody watch Handmaid's Tale? It premiered this week. I used to love Handmaid's Tale, the first 2 seasons, and I honestly stopped watching it because it just felt too real.
It's
and
so
it just
hard.
It got so like traumatizing and just like dramatic, which I mean, it's obviously supposed to be, but I would watch like 2 episodes of that show. I would cry every single episode, and then I would have to like have a palate cleanser and watch something happy.
Literally. I cried like maybe 6-7 times within the first 5 minutes. It was ridiculous. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Especially if you've been watching it for a while, like since the beginning, you see these like, women go through this life, and and you really feel like you're there with them. And Elizabeth Moss, oh my God,
she's so talented.
She's right, and she's directing some of these episodes.
Yeah, I think she directed the premiere of this season.
She also directed the 3rd episode. Because they released 3, right, last week?
I think so. Yeah.
That was surprising because I like watched the first one. And I was like, oh man, I want to like jump off something, and I need to figure this out and like fix my emotions. Oh, there's another episode, but that just made it worse.
Right. Nothing ever makes it better. You can't watch one episode of Handmaid's Tale and then watch the next one and be like, everything's gonna be great for all these ladies next. Oh,
it is motivating.
It's still terrible.
Like Elizabeth Moss's character, what's her name? June, right? It kind of reminds me of Harriet Tubman, the Underground Railroad. That's literally what's happening here.
Yeah, leading people out of Gilead, right?
Yeah, and I think the fact that it's so hard to watch makes it that much human because these are humans. These are, and it's a very much, at least Gilead is all very much about developing this country and and how it's really focused on the future of these kids.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's all rooted in patriarchy and like religion and
it's all of it. It's everything that we live for every day.
This is based on a book series or a book a book series, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
A book, yeah. Margaret Atwood is the author of The Handmaid's Tale, and I think she was maybe rumored to write a second one at some point, but it never happened.
So these 3 seasons have been the book?
I think that the first season is the novel, honestly, and that these other seasons are now just went beyond the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
I don't know. I need to jump back in. I just need to hunker down and watch it. Because like I totally agree. The fact that it's so hard to watch is completely the point. And it's almost like a warning to
Yeah, honestly, that's
people.
what I feel when I watch it.
I gotta admit, you're not selling me on this.
It's super depressing and hard to
It's
watch.
very depressing.
And it'll make
Like,
you want to
it
take.
ruins your life, and you'll cry yourself to sleep. But
It'll make
check
you
it
want
out.
to take to the streets and burn some stuff down, though, which is
No, yeah,
honestly how I
exactly.
feel most of the time. So
Man.
Yeah, it really like, yeah, you know, it just invites you to just, going back to like being human. It's like, that's what June is fighting for. It's like, I am a person. I am a human being.
I'm
and
not just a vessel. Yeah.
No, I'm not just like this, vessel that just
Yeah.
does whatever you want. Like I'm a human being. And I think that encourages people.
Exactly. Don't give up on your rights, not even a little bit.
No, because I mean, and I'm a big, community guy, and like believe in like people organizing and like fighting for like what they believe in. And I think that's kind of like what the show shows is kind of like the impact that people have, at least like how they're responding to their environment and trying to make it, trying to resolve it for themselves.
Yeah,
Or at least
exactly.
like or at least like find a way to like fix this issue. I don't know. I kind of just like getting people together for what is right in them.
Yeah. So what can happen when you sit back and just let things change and go, because in Gilead, it changes bit by bit. It's not overnight. She says that. She's like, one thing happened and then another thing happened and everyone's like, oh, that's okay. And then another right got taken away and then another right got taken away. And before you know it, it's like this complete just religious patriarchal state. And it's like, it just, and there's certain people who are willing to stand up and fight. So like you said, it's like the power of organizing.
Yeah.
And fighting.
I mean, it started off, it pretty much, at least like from the perspective of the show, which is based off of the novel, it starts off with this one person, but she sparks this feeling, this idea that, we're meant for more than just this. And then she has throughout the series so far, she's had these people to work with to help, get to
built
where
a
they
revolution.
wanna be. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like it's interesting because when it comes to like TV, film, whatever entertainment that you're going for, like it's going to depend on like what you want out of it. Like, because if you want like something maybe motivational or inspirational, like that's gonna change what you watch. Or if you just want something cathartic and like, you know what I mean? Because like, I remember watching the series The Americans, and being like so invested in it, but turning it off and always feeling like super depressed and being like, oh gosh, well, this is horrible. Like I'm feeling horrible about all sorts of things, but I have to keep watching it.
Yeah.
But then it was like after I would finish watching that series, I would have to go back to like a comfort show. Like I'm like, okay, time to binge Parks and Rec again to like restore my faith in humanity,
Yep.
So I kind of feel like as you guys are talking, I'm like, oh man, like that's so heavy. I don't know if I have it in me
It's
to
very
watch
heavy.
something that heavy, And it's so funny because I can watch a guy on Invincible destroy a train car full of humans and pull their entrails out and throw them and be like, I feel good, but I can't. Something like
This
that.
one's
I'm like,
too rooted in reality, though. Like the way it all starts from the beginning, it's like they're all at a women's rights march, and it's just like bit by bit. You're watching, you're like, oh man, yeah.
the kind of reality that I like is the fake reality that we get on reality TV. Just kidding.
I think what keeps me
Yes.
onto the show is that it signifies hope. And even though all this crap is happening around us and all these people are dying, they're doing it for a cause. And it's something they believe in.
Fight the power. Speaking of quasi-reality, as Hayley mentioned, Nicole, anything fun in reality television this week? Or anything you watched in general?
I watched the NFL draft and can actually say that I'm okay with who the Bears picked. Very happy with their decision. Really thought that they were going to disappoint us Chicagoans once again, as they usually do. But I'm
Who did they
pretty
pick?
good.
What position?
Quarterback.
That's what the Patriots picked. at least for the
Yeah.
first round.
They picked Justin Fields from Ohio State, so I can't really complain there.
Okay, so my only knowledge of Bears football is what I saw on New Girl, and Mitch Trubisky was the Bears quarterback, right? Is he still?
No, he's not, thank God. It is Andy Dalton. And
He's so cute. He looks like a French fry dipped in ketchup. I just want to eat him up.
oh my
That actually
gosh.
sounds kind of tasty.
Looks like Conan O'Brien and Ron Weasley had a baby.
That's so
I am
funny.
here for it. Ginger snap me, baby.
But I think he'll start, Andy Dalton will start this season, and then by week 4, Justin Fields will start.
All right, interesting.
But we'll see.
Do you know who started last season for the Bears? as
Trubisky.
quarterback? Okay. Oh, okay.
But don't really have high hopes for the Bears. Never do. Never will. But they do play in Vegas in September, so that could be exciting because they are playing 17 weeks this year instead of their normal 16 regular season games. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I think
should be interesting.
the NFL draft is kind of big in New England because Patriots, and especially because Tom Brady is now playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which took me a while to get used to. But yeah, they also drafted a new quarterback, and then that brings up the question: does that mean Cam Newton is about to be replaced? But that thought is in the atmosphere. Although there was a comment that I saw from Mac Jones, who the Patriots picked up. He pretty much said that this is, for the Patriots, Cam Newton's team, or at least he's going to follow
Yeah, I did
Cam
see
Newton.
that.
Yeah, because Cam Newton got another year extension. 'Cause he started off in a year, and then they added it. Yeah, and last year, in the beginning of the season, I felt the Patriots were going to be a problem because Cam Newton, he is so versatile. He can throw and run. And I think that was something that was new for the Patriots because all we had was Tom Brady throwing the ball.
For sure.
And that was so bad for you, right? Having Tom
no,
Brady
I mean,
just
all
never
the Super
ended
Bowls.
well for the Patriots.
I used to hate the Patriots so bad, and then Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers, and then it turned out I never actually hated the Patriots. I just hated Tom Brady. So now I hate the Buccaneers.
Retweet.
I feel
My family in Tampa is so cocky now. Like, ooh,
Yeah.
we have a
Did
sports
you
ball
guys see
team.
the picture of Tom Brady at the Kentucky Derby looking
Yeah.
like the Roger
Oh,
Rabbit
it was
villain?
great.
Yes. Speaking of the
Dude.
Derby, Aaron Rodgers was there. And have you heard about the drama surrounding him?
Ooh,
A little
drama.
bit.
Tell
Fill me
us.
in.
Okay, so he does not want to return to the Green Bay Packers because last draft in 2020, they drafted a quarterback. And he said he was not aware that they were drafting a quarterback, so his feelings were hurt.
Oh,
And I'm like, okay, I get you're literally the star of the team, but why does anyone have to tell you who they are drafting?
Yeah.
That is none, like, who cares? So now he doesn't want to return to Green Bay this
my
year.
God.
And there's rumors going around that the Denver Broncos are looking to get him, and people are going around saying that it is because of Shailene Woodley, his fiance, that he doesn't want to return because she said something about she really likes Florida and she wants to live there or something like that. And so
And
people
the
are
beach,
thinking that he
yeah.
wants to leave Green Bay to go with her. But I'm like, if you're really in love with her and you want to make things work, then yeah, if you got to move, you got to move. Like, who cares? And-
Why hate on that? Like,
Right?
if people think that J.J. Watt came to the Cardinals because of our playoff ability or whatever, like, they've got another thing coming. Like, J.J. Watt came here because it's Arizona and it's a good place to live.
It's
and he
our
was looking out for
gorgeous
his family.
spring weather.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really thought
gosh.
J.J. Watt was going to go to Chicago because that's where his wife plays soccer for the Chicago Red Stars. And he really loves Chicago food, which I don't blame him because the food there is so good.
It really is.
Yeah,
I need it.
man. Hi, I'm Hayley the Brave, teacher and mom by day, cosplayer and pop culture junkie by, well, also by day. I'm obsessed with all things fandom, and I love to talk about it. So join me and some of my friends as we geek out about TV, movies, music, and all the awesome things that make life worth living. Listen to my podcast, 30 Nerdy and Thriving, available now on all major streaming platforms.
I want to know about Billie Eilish, and I'm not sure which one of you can talk about it. I don't know.
Who here likes Billie Eilish?
Who here likes Billie Eilish?
Definitely.
Oh, wait,
not
Nicole.
me.
Tell us what's up with that Vogue cover.
Me. Okay, yes. Billie Eilish is looking absolutely flawless on the cover of Vogue British edition. She is wearing a corset that just makes her body look absolutely amazing. And if you know Billie Eilish and her style, she always is one to wear baggy clothes and not really kind of show her figure because she doesn't want to be sexualized or anything like that because of her figure.
She's curvy.
Yeah.
She's stacked.
Yeah.
So I watched this whole week. People have been like posting pictures about it, and I literally did not recognize her the entire time.
Yeah, she
I thought
was
she was, like,
absolutely
glamorous.
incredible.
Yeah.
And I do think that this is going to be the new her. I think we will be seeing her in a lot more form-fitting either dresses or clothing. She did come out and say that this is just who I am now, and I really don't care what people think about it. She says that you should just be who you want to be, and this is who she wants to be now. So I'm saying good for her. I was watching Daily Pop, which is kind of like the new E! News on E! Entertainment's channel. And they were talking about how her fans might come out and be like, well, this is kind of not okay because you were always one who didn't want to show your body, but now all of a sudden you did a 180, changed your hair color, and are now wearing form-fitting clothes. But I'm like, no, I highly doubt that her fans are going to think like this. I think her fans are going to be happy for her because she's finally living the life that she wants to live.
I mean, she's what, like 18 years
19.
old? Yeah, like I do not look the same that I did at 19.
Yeah.
She's a teenage girl. Like
Exactly.
she's
People
going to
evolve.
change the way she looks and how, like, you're still discovering your own personal style at that age anyway, and like experimenting with things. So like,
Exactly.
Yeah. And through this time, like I was like, seeing all this news, I saw that Jamila Jamil, and she even like talked about it in her defense. I just pulled up the tweet that she said, and it was pretty much just like her responding to an image that was kind of just saying what Nicole was saying. Like, she's like changing her appearance. And so Jamil was like, you can't sell out when you've already outsold the entire planet. She was an icon in her pajamas, and she's simply still an icon now that she switched to lingerie. So it doesn't change the person. This person, is still the talent that we've been used to, like I've heard and I've been inspired by. And just because, she's evolving in front of us, because she is a public figure, doesn't, take her away from all the, success that she's had and the impact that she's had.
yeah.
Because my sister, she loves Billie Eilish. My sister's her age. Billie Eilish and my sister, they're the same age. And I know how much Billie Eilish means to her. And so, I'm all for, be true to yourself. And if it means that you're, again, evolving. In that
one
process,
day
then,
I'm in sweats. The next I'm in
take
booty
the journey.
shorts. It's just, you got to keep them on their toes. Am I right?
Yeah, literally same.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. You just like
all the time.
I'm looking at the pictures right now, and I'm thinking like I don't understand how anybody could have a problem with that. And it's not like over the top. It's not gratuitous. It's like it's glamour, and it's for like a freaking magazine. It's not like she's just like strolling down to like Sprouts in some lingerie. You know what I mean? Like that's what you do. You get glammed up. I mean, but we've seen this all the time. Anytime. I mean, look at when Taylor Swift kind of changed the trajectory of her career. Look at like anytime. Especially
Miley Cyrus, women for sure. Yeah,
anytime they're always going to get pushback, always.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Speaking of somebody who might walk to Sprouts in their lingerie, and I am absolutely here for it, I want to talk about the drama with Lady Gaga's dogs. Okay,
Fill us in.
Right? That was the best transition ever. Anyway, so Lady Gaga's dogs. It's been a story for a little while. Gaga was in Italy filming a movie with Adam Driver, as one does. And she has a dog sitter who is walking her 3 French bulldogs. The dog walker was shot in the chest.
Wait, I didn't know that part. I thought they just picked up the dogs and left.
So one of the dogs ran away and escaped. The other 2 dogs were dog napped. I should say that the dog walker is in recovery. He's posting on Instagram. He's doing much, much better. So that's great. But Gaga put out a $500,000 reward for the return of her dogs. So eventually a lady comes out and says that she found the dogs like tied to a pole in an alleyway. But it's just coming out this week that lady who claimed to have found the dogs was in on this scam the whole time. Yeah.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Really? Oh man, of course. Like I just find these couple dogs that somebody took all the effort, including shooting
I just
somebody
happened to find these like
to pick up and just leave
French
on a
bulldogs, right? So it's been within the last like 2 months or so, but like all of this is coming out this week.
Yeah, because I'm wondering how long it took for this person to like finally be like,
right.
Okay,
so she apparently the whole scam to steal the dogs wasn't because they were Lady Gaga's dogs. It's because of the breed of dog. Like they're just very expensive. And then it was just kind of like, this is straight up some Cruella de Vil stuff, man. Like they're like, oh, these fine dogs. And then they find out, oh no, they're Lady Gaga's. We can collect the reward.
I like that's the accent you went, because I was going to be like, see, I got to get my hands on these dogs, see.
I don't know. I'm not sure what mine was. These are some dogs.
Go to villain accent.
Right. Well, happy ending to the story because all 3 doggies are back with Gaga, and the guy who was shot is recovering, and I'm sure he got a lot of Insta followers out of it. So
that's what matters.
Right. And at the end of the day, worth it. I'm just kidding. Oh my God.
And Lady Gaga's probably paying his medical bills, so.
Right. Absolutely.
Don't have to worry about that.
Or starting a GoFundMe.
Like Kylie
Kylie Jenner.
This guy is super close to me. Can all my fans please donate?
Gaga would never.
Gosh.
Gaga would never.
Yeah. Speaking of the Jenners, don't you have something on Caitlyn Jenner there, Alex?
Yeah, some news that came up this week. So as we know, Caitlyn Jenner is running, or at least put in her bid for governor of California. And so people have really put a magnifying glass on her. And she recently come out talking about her position comes to trans athletes and whether trans athletes should be playing in sports. Even just so I don't know if it's like playing in sports in general, but like whether, a trans woman should be playing or a trans man should be playing in the same
of the gender
of the whether of the gender they identify with.
I read a thing that the irony of it was in 2016 she competed in a women's golf tournament.
Yes.
And so everyone's like,
God.
But I don't know. I think that just speaks to the bigger unfortunate reality of politics, but especially when celebrities get involved in politics. It's like,
for sure.
The bottom line is they'll just do whatever it takes to get elected. I mean, we saw that like Donald Trump when he exited reality TV and went into politics. It was like suddenly, he used to be besties with the Clintons and now suddenly, they're the worst. So we saw that a lot.
Absolutely. She's got to take those Republican stances.
And she is running as a Republican. So that's the thing about politics, especially if you're running, you pretty much have to be what the party, you have to become.
Yeah, party politics for sure.
Party politics. And I think she's just trying to cater to the people that are Republicans she's trying to get that vote.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, just spitting in the face of the trans community she's a member of it. It's
going to be a bizarre election to follow. California is just one of my favorite states to follow. What the heck happens there?
It's just always chaos, right?
Absolute chaos.
Goodness gracious.
And she's not the only trans person that's running for any kind of office. Last year in 2020, I saw that there was somebody in Los Angeles, for city council, that was running. And they, they're trans,
right?
Mm-hmm.
She just happens to be Caitlyn Jenner
and have no political experience, right?
A part of me is like, it's like thinking that, like, what if Caitlyn's just really just trying to get more clout? She saw that this trans person was running for city council, and because she's,
that's basically how the Jenners have built their career is just by chasing clout. So
what else can I do that will make headlines or that'll get people talking? Which it's working because we're talking.
That's true,
but. Man, there are so many, I am all, get trans people in politics. Absolutely. Like get people like making more inclusive policies and like, but I mean, there is just so many more people who will fight for the actual rights and care about trans people and the whole LGBTQ community that are not Caitlyn Jenner.
Well, that's the thing. When it comes to politics, it's really just opinions and who you pay more to keep the opinions that you relate to.
It's definitely an interesting dialogue that's taking place because, you know, like Republicans haven't really had to have a transgender candidate out representing their views. So it's interesting to see the dialogue surrounding it.
Well, Caitlyn should just spend more time maybe getting some like driver's ed classes under her belt and not run for politics. But whatever.
Gosh, imagine her and like Kanye.
Just teaming up.
Politics,
Right. Then you vote for her?
Okay, then maybe I will. Then I will probably, take her bid seriously.
Man.
Running California together.
Man.
Well, isn't he in like a different state now? Though? I think he's
is there divorce
more north.
still
He's,
like going through?
I don't know.
I haven't
He's
heard any
somewhere
more.
else.
Like
I think so. I don't think it's finalized just yet. I think it's.
I did hear about A-Rod and J-Lo's.
Ooh, let's
so
talk about
spicy.
divorces. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, all right. Okay,
Okay.
I have one in mind too, but everybody. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I have to talk about, hold on, because you were talking about A-Rod and A-Rod, J-Lo. I have to talk about Ben Affleck. So you guys know there was like the rumor about like Bennifer 2.0 like coming back into action. They were seen together.
I'm so here for that.
But the best thing
I saw that.
came out this week, which was Ben Affleck is on a dating app called Raya, I guess, which made me think of Raya and the Last Dragon. I was like, I didn't even know this existed. So he
That's what I thought.
matched.
Yeah,
It's like, you know, like Tinder or whatever.
movie?
You match with somebody. And he matched with this like model / influencer. And I guess you can like unmatch with someone. And so they match and she unmatched him. And
She's like, Ben Affleck, oh God.
he sent her a video and he's like, yo, what's up? It's Ben Affleck. Why did you unmatch me?
Oh no. He's like, because you're Ben Affleck. That's why I unmatched
It
you.
is so cringy.
Why do I think it was like a cameo though, and she paid him to say that, and she just washed out the watermark?
Well, so the funny thing though is that like, I guess he'd been seen on dating apps earlier and like it had been leaked online and people were like, oh my gosh, Ben Affleck is on a dating app. And they asked him in an interview and he's like, yeah, you caught me, I'm dating, whatever. Like, and then he just moved on.
Yeah, I think in the video he was also like trying to like have her donate to some cause. He's like, why'd you unmatch me? If you have time.
That's a good cover up. That's a good cover up,
right?
Why'd you unmatch me? Support the troops. I don't know. I thought it was so funny to me. Like, I can't imagine. I know he's got a date and I know it's got to be hard, like being a celebrity and whatever, but
Yeah. He was dating on a
When was the last time he was in a relationship?
Ferris.
No.
Oh.
that super gorgeous lady that my
Ferris?
husband's obsessed with. Ana de Armas.
Sorry.
Yeah, they were together for a while.
yeah.
Oh my God. She's in Blade Runner, the
don't
new
know her.
one with Ryan Gosling. And she was in Knives Out. She's just gorgeous. Yeah.
yeah.
I saw another thing, like maybe like a few weeks ago, of Ben Affleck kind of like shooting his shot at J-Lo in this interview. And he wasn't like really shooting. He was like kind of like talking about how like she's an awesome person and like super hardworking. And this is at the same time that J-Lo and A-Rod were like going through.
I heard
like,
that they hung out, but I don't know how.
Dude,
true that
the
is.
weirdest take was Kevin Smith, who is like friends with Ben Affleck,
Yeah.
gets on Twitter, retweets like the TMZ article. The one where like Ben Affleck and J-Lo were in the same SUV.
Wait,
It's like his
which one?
buddy retweeted this. Come on, man.
He retweets
Come on,
it,
man.
and then he's like,
Wait, what?
I don't know if there's any truth to this, but I really hope so because these two crazy kids were madly in love, and I hope they
Oh
can
my-
work it out. But he
Can't
was
you
like,
just call him, Kevin? Just text your buddy, man. Text
Oh.
him.
I could not
That's
Like,
cool,
what?
though.
Oh my gosh. What a weird turn of events. And I'm here for it. And I hope that we get another J-Lo music video with Ben Affleck kissing her butt on a boat.
I was to say, when he takes off the string bikini top and then kisses her on the butt.
Oh, jeez.
Just iconic imagery.
If we get more of that, like
Iconic.
that was not on my 2021 bingo card, but I'm putting it on there.
Absolutely.
She needs to date a normal man.
That's probably it. That's probably it. Because it's been Ben Affleck, Mark Anthony.
No, she dated one of her dancers, though.
He did.
She dated like a
Wasn't there,
backup
like, a
dancer for a
dancer?
while. That was as normal as that was going to get, I think.
Yeah.
I'll find her a
Sean
man
Combs, yeah.
and let her know.
Well, I also saw recently that her and A-Rod, after they
They just
announced
broke up.
their
They were never
divorce,
married.
were meeting for dinner somewhere.
Ended their engagement.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No,
They
you're
ended their
good. You're good.
engagement.
You know what's so funny is when we mentioned divorce, the two married chicks, we got real excited. We're like, oh my God, let's talk about divorce. My husband's listening in the other room, like, do we need to talk? Like, okay. My divorce that I want to dish on. This week, it was announced that Bill and Melinda Gates are getting a divorce after 27 years of marriage.
It's crazy.
Like, that's
Dang.
shocking to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why, though, because they're just two people. I don't know, because I know Bill Gates. I guess I just don't know much about Melinda Gates.
They co-chair the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Is that why this is so big?
Okay, so they've been together for 27 years. They have an estimated $130 billion in net worth. So I think that's kind of why everybody's kind of salivating at this.
Jeez.
Like, how ridiculous is this divorce going to be?
And I think like when people make it, I feel like there's this idea of like you've made it into your like 50s and 60s, like you've been together X amount of time. It's like you just assume they're gonna write it out. Like,
Exactly. Like
so-
27 years. That's a long ass time to be married and then to call it quits. And I mean, to have that entire foundation behind them. So it looks like they don't have a prenuptial agreement. Their petition for divorce just asked the courts to divide the property as laid out in that agreement, but we don't know what that's looking for yet. But yeah, 130 billion freaking dollars.
That's crazy. I know everyone online's like shooting their shot at Bill Gates. They're like, look,
Hey, daddy.
I'm not too proud. Oh, dude.
Where's she
See what
at?
Melinda's doing. Where's she at? Somewhere Silicon Valley?
I don't know. I
up,
think it's weird
Bill.
because sometimes a couple breaks up and you're maybe even a little excited about it. Like I think of when like Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise broke up, and I was just
she
like,
was
yes,
excited
girl.
about it, too.
Yes, yes, get away.
I'm excited for Kim and I'm excited for Kim. I'm just like, go out there, girl. There's a whole world. Yes.
But then it's like when Will Arnett and Amy Poehler split up, and I was just like, no, like you guys seem so happy. Or of course, like Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, that was like a huge like traumatic ordeal. But it's so funny. It's like, why am I so invested in like these people's relationships who I literally don't know? Like why?
Right.
Why do I
So
care?
people are just, they seem so cute and happy together, but obviously that's, the front that everybody puts on when you can only see pictures and we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But.
I think my husband and I were talking about how obviously like 2020 pandemic, I feel like divorce like ramped up with regular people, but also with celebrities. And we were talking about kind of why, and obviously like pandemic, you're together all the time, you're in quarantine. But I think especially for celebrities, like their life is so go, 24/7, go. And
They have
sometimes
so much time usually where they're separated. Yeah.
Right, yeah, they're on
exactly.
opposite coasts, like they're doing all different things. And then I think getting locked down in quarantine, I think for some of them it was just this realization of maybe something that had been there a long time that they hadn't
this is
dealt
what
with.
marriage is like. We actually have to spend time together and sleep in the same bed every single night.
I mean, like low key, and this is a little personal, like through the pandemic, like me and my partner, we like, this is kind of like the first time we like are living together and just being able to like really get to know each other and like, we know there's ups and downs, but just being able to take the time to like really, use our love to keep
I'm writing that
our
down.
love.
Wait.
Hashtag use love, keep love.
It's great. I mean, I love it. trying to like just compare it to like celebrities, like you're saying, like, you know, these are two people that are like out and about, like even though they're like known to be together as, you know, a married couple.
So many obligations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They get pulled in
Yeah, and I
different
think too, like when you're not as maybe dependent on a person, like I don't want to be like all woo, codependency is great, but in like in my marriage anyway, and I think in a lot of people's relationships, there is a certain element of like dependency because you're building this like shared life together.
Yeah, and you want to feel needed, and it's nice to feel like, you know, I need my husband. He needs me, like,
Right.
you know.
But I think sometimes especially with celebrities, they've got their fortunes, they've got their billions and billions, and they're starting their own thing and doing their own thing, and they feel like they don't need that other person anymore. They've outgrown them in some way.
And I think that's what I saw recently. At least like there was like something I saw where that's what was the case for Bill and Melinda. They were just like, we're just not there anymore.
They're going to keep co-chairing the foundation together.
Doing something
so
different.
Good for them, keeping it civil and keeping that going. But
speaking of Alex, what was it? Use and love to keep love? We got to give a shout out to vote for Alex in this competition for podcasting dad of the year.
Oh man,
you are a full-on daddy now, Alex. I'm sorry, I keep saying daddy. Daddy, chill.
Don't ever say that like that.
I got the gut.
Daddy, chill.
Daddy.
Please vote for Alex as daddy of the podcast. I'm sorry. Okay, everybody, we're going to put it in the show notes where you can actually vote for Alex for top podcasts that are created or hosted by dads. So please vote for our daddy, Alex.
Yes.
Oh, geez.
Oh, man. You and Bill Gates, so daddies.
The love.
Oh, man. Okay, well, on that note, let's wrap it up here, guys. Thank you all so much for continuing to listen to us go through ridiculous takes and deep takes back and forth. We just switch back and forth between like super deep commentary and then just nonsense, and I love that. So this is Shauna signing off. You can find me on Instagram, ShaunaTrinidad. That is also my Twitter handle. Nicole, where can the people find you?
You could find me on Instagram and TikTok at Nicole_Eldridge and Twitter at NAEldridge14. And I just want to give a quick little shout out to all the mothers out there because this will be airing before Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there.
Oh my God, I talked so much about daddies and it's going to be Mother's Day. Where can the people find you, Hayley?
You can find me on Twitter at 30nerdypod and on Instagram at 30nerdythriving and on TikTok on the rare occasion at 30nerdythriving, mostly posting Law and Order SVU content.
You're a good follow.
And Alex, where can the people find you?
Find me on Twitter and Instagram, ALCASNUN.
And as always, please check out popculturejunkie.com. There you will find all of our blog posts. We have a lot of merch for sale. We have a limited edition Star Wars themed t-shirt right now for sale. Super cute. So you can get all your merch there and you can find the links to everywhere that you can listen. Please like, follow, download, subscribe, and review. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Pop Culture Junkie is a production of Pop Culture Entertainment Group. All rights reserved.